Actually, thank you. I'm Ron Cable. I'm running for Summit County Court of Common Pleas General Division, but I am currently your domestic relations magistrate, and I have been for 12 plus years. In that time, I've presided over 8,500 cases. Of those cases, they've ranged anywhere from complicated property disputes to issues involving children and families. And anytime that you hear cases that involve anytime you hear cases that involve families, certainly mental illness crops up over and over again. I will tell you, mental illness is something that I am familiar with, both personally and professionally. 15 years ago, my son, when he was 2 years old, was diagnosed with autism and has several other issues that go along with that. And I just remember back when he was first diagnosed, how scary that was for me, how I didn't understand what this was going to mean for him or myself or my family. And I will say, in that time that he was, between the time he was diagnosed until we finally started him on some therapies, I really didn't know what to think. Now people commend me for taking such good care of him, but it just wasn't me. I mean, it was organizations that helped me. It was therapists and doctors, and certainly friends and family members that helped me be able to cope with his issues, because he is pretty severely autistic. So when we first started out, I remember taking him to his first doctor's appointment, and I was explaining all the issues that he had, because I just couldn't understand why he was doing what he was doing. He used to pick up all of his stuffed animals and wouldn't let them go. He used to want to watch the same vignettes on television over and over and over again. If he's seen an escalator, he didn't like to go in public as it was, and he was only 2 or 3 years old, but if he's seen an escalator, he'd turn around and just fight for his life. He was just scared of those for whatever reason. I still don't quite know why. But, I had, mental health professionals explain to me what it might feel like to be him. What it might feel like to have such anxiety that, he's got to carry all these things around with him. What it might feel like to be afraid of something as common as an escalator. And, when I hear my cases at court, and when we have somebody that has a mental illness, I believe that I have great compassion for them, and I treat them with the utmost dignity and respect, because they didn't ask to be born that way, and they certainly didn't ask to have these types of problems. I think the good news is that combined with all of his therapists and doctors and organizations that have helped my family out, he has become quite a successful young man. And my child enjoys swimming, and he's on a swim team, and he's in school, and they've taught him how to read and write, and he doesn't have the same behaviors that he used to have. And I owe all that to not just working with him myself, but to other agencies that have helped me. So I think it's critical in our community that we have organizations like NAMI, to help folks and to educate folks about what mental illness is all about. And I still can't say that I understand it, and I can't say that I accept it, but I do accept the people who do have mental illness. And I experience a lot of folks that come through the court system. One guy I used to have, he would come in and he wanted to spend time with his kids, and his kids loved him because he's a nice guy. But he just believed that he was a member of the CIA, and he really wasn't. So I couldn't let him take the kids out around Greater Akron on some kind of mission on the weekends. So most of the time he had with his kids were supervised. But that doesn't mean he's not a good human being, and it doesn't mean that he doesn't deserve to have time with his family. So every day, when I go to work and I run across cases like the gentleman I just described, I try to be patient, and I try to remember that it doesn't take one visit to the doctors or 6 weeks worth of therapy. Sometimes it could take nearly a lifetime, to see real improvements. But that lifetime is certainly worth it. So I think my time's up, and I don't know if any of you have any questions, but I would be happy to answer them. Thank you.